Well, as we begin our study of Passion Week and start here today, we'll start today as we get to it on Palm Sunday in 2023, be the Sunday before Easter Sunday, before Resurrection Sunday. As we look at today in biblical times, we're going to look just briefly as we start in John and then bounce to Matthew and then on to Luke. As we'll do each day, before I get started, I'll give you the scriptures as far as just in each gospel of where you can look and study, and we won't read all of it each day, as I've said. We'll take pieces as we put the story together, but certainly encourage everyone to go back and read through each of the four gospels as we go through each day this week. So today, for day one, for Palm Sunday, we're going to look just a minute briefly before John 11 and John 12. As we get into the actual triumphal entry, we'll be in Matthew 21, verses 1 through 11. So Matthew 21, 1 through 11, Mark chapter 11, verses 1 through 11, Luke chapter 19, verses 28 through 44, and then, as I think I said in the intro, John chapter 12, and a bit of chapter 11, setting the scene. But John, as many probably know, is written in just a bit different fashion than the other three synoptic gospels. So we'll have a little broader text that I give you each day, verses specifically, verse by verse. So as we start today, and just to set the scene, we're going to start in John 11. And John 11, verse 55, it says, "Now the Passover of the Jews was near, and many went up to Jerusalem out of the country before the Passover to purify themselves. So they were seeking for Jesus and were saying to one another as they stood in the temple, 'What do you think, that he will not come to the feast at all?'" And in verse 57 it says, "Now the chief priests and the Pharisees had given orders that if anyone knew where he was to report it so that they might seize him." So as the Jewish people are headed to Jerusalem and gathering together, and apparently it's becoming somewhat public knowledge that the Pharisees and Sadducees and the religious leaders are looking for Christ, looking for Jesus, looking for a way to seize him. So as those people are gathering, they're looking for Christ probably for a couple of reasons, looking to find him, to see him as Messiah, heard about his wonders, and heard about the works that he had been doing, the healings that he'd been doing. And then also, as people are gathering, wondering if Jesus is going to arrive, with knowing that the religious leaders are looking at him, or are looking for him. So as we know, reading through, when I get to the gospel, that he is about to make his entry into Jerusalem, which is what we're going to look at right now. So in Matthew 21, starting in verse 1, we'll read the first 10 verses. It says, "When they had approached Jerusalem and had come to Bethphage at the Mount of Olives, then Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, 'Go into the village opposite you, and immediately you will find a donkey tied there, and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, you shall say, the Lord has need of them, and immediately he will send them.' This took place to fulfill what was spoken through the prophet. Say to the daughter of Zion, Behold, your king is coming to you, gentle and mounted on a donkey, even on a colt, the foal of a beast of burden." The disciples went and did just as Jesus had instructed them, and brought the donkey and the colt, and laid their coats on them. And he sat on the coats. Most of the crowd spread their coats in the road, and others were cutting branches from the trees and spreading them in the road. The crowds ahead of him and those who followed were shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest!" When he had entered Jerusalem, all the city was stirred, saying, "Who is this?" And the crowds were saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." So that's the first 10 verses in Matthew, and as it paints a beautiful picture of Christ coming in, fulfilling another prophecy in the way he enters Jerusalem into this time. We're going to flip from there over to Luke 19 and pick up in the exact same spot in Luke 19, verse 39. So as Christ is coming in on the donkey as prophesied, and folks are praising him, they're excited. Things are going. The Messiah is arriving in Jerusalem. The people are ecstatic about it. And in verse 39 of Luke 19, it says, "Some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to him, 'Teacher, rebuke your disciples.' But Jesus answered, 'I tell you, if these become silent, the stones will cry out.'" Him making a point to the Pharisees that I am Lord, and even the stones will cry out that if I demand these people to be silent. In verse 41, he says, "When he approached Jerusalem, he saw the city and wept over it, saying, 'If you had known in this day, even you, the things which make for peace, but now they have been hidden from your eyes. For the days will come upon you when your enemies will throw up a barricade against you and surround you and hem you in on every side, and they will level you to the ground and your children within you, and they will not leave in you one stone upon another, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation.'" So again, a clear prophecy there of AD 70 that Jesus puts out, just as happened by the Romans in AD 70 when they took down Jerusalem. So again, as we look at that and Christ coming in just as the arrival is all we'll look at today, and weeps over the town. He's again passionate and knowing that he will be rejected as we get closer to the end of the week, that compassion that he has. As we go on through this week, the first day, day 1 is going to end as we look at Mark 11:11. As it says, as he enters the temple, looking at it all, it was already late. He leaves for Bethany with the 12 to go back out of town for that evening. We'll pick back up tomorrow on day 2 and look at some things that happen in the temple as Jesus stirs some things up and gets some things situated in his way as we look at day 2. So that completes the study for today. Like I say, go back through if you can back up to and read through all 4 Gospels of this account. And as we go through this week, I know it'll be a blessing, as I know it has been for me. So God bless y'all. We love y'all, and we will see you back tomorrow for day 2 of Passion Week.